Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, Litecoin Leader. And today we're talking about our third piece of ALTCOINopoly. Now, I like to look at coins that solve real-world problems. And there are definitely problems in the crypto space right now. The Ethereum costs for transactions on the Ethereum blockchain are out of control. Sometimes people are paying over $100 for some transactions to do them immediately. That's just crazy, but yet people have to pay those fees if they want to get certain coins. So I'm looking at a particular project of particular interest that helps to solve that problem by doing what's called a layer 2 solution, or a second layer on top of the Ethereum blockchain network. But wait, there's more. This coin actually does even more than just that. It actually adds other features to the DeFi platforms that are out there that I have been looking for, and I know a number of other people have been wanting for. So let's dive into the third piece of ALTCOINopoly. Let's start with a quick look at the ALTCOINopoly board. Once again, I would just remind you that half of the videos are going to be free on YouTube, like this one, and the other half are going to be available only to subscribers at LitecoinLeader.com. So a quick recap of where we're at so far. We're on the third coin. All the coins so far have been in zone 1 of the board, which is the first section of the board, which starts at the first open square, is where you begin the game, and you start progressing towards the first gray square in the brown and blue section. That is the section that I'm calling zone 1, and zone 1 is also known as the cheap rent district. All these coins are all under $1 except for the major coin, which is the commuter rail spot, which is the first reveal that we had last week. So the first coin was revealed in episode 8, and the second one was revealed in episode S4, which is just for subscribers. Now today we're going over the third coin, which is going to be Loopring, or LRC. Now, LRC is a project that's very interesting now and very timely, which is why I wanted to talk about it this week, because there's been a lot of talk about how high the fees are for any Ethereum transactions. Ethereum right now is costing a lot of money to do virtually anything because there's so much traffic on the Ethereum network. So Loopring is one of the projects that is working to solve that problem. So let's start to take a harder look at LRC, or Loopring, and what it's all about. So what is Loopring? Well, Loopring is an Ethereum token that runs on the Ethereum blockchain that is a layer 2 solution. It makes a second layer on top of the Ethereum blockchain itself, so that it creates a DeFi protocol to exchange currencies. Cryptocurrencies. So you can think of it as a decentralized exchange, or a DEX, but it's a little bit different because it is running on the Ethereum platform, and there's more to it than just a Uniswap or SushiSwap type exchange. So walking through the Loopring discussion, Loopring, now it can get very technical very quickly with Loopring. Just looking at Loopring's page, they explain it as a ZK rollup exchange and payment protocol. What does ZK rollup mean? Well, that is a zero knowledge exchange, meaning that you don't have to know the underlying status of the Ethereum network. It works as a layer 2. It's riding on top of the Ethereum network. So you don't. The magic to the Loopring is that it does things off chain and then brings everything onto the chain later on. So by doing thousands of transactions off chain and then bringing them as an aggregate to the chain, you're reducing the fees, which are the main problem right now with Ethereum. Ethereum cannot scale until it gets to Ethereum generation 2, Ethereum 2.0. When that happens, eventually it will be able to accommodate more, but then there'll be more demand, and there'll be this problem will just be put off and it will happen again. But Loopring is helping to solve that problem by adding a second layer for transactions. Think of it as an on-ramp to a freeway. Ethereum is the highway that's crowded at rush hour, but having on and off ramps that are gated or throttled by stoplights or other traffic it helps to control that traffic flow and make it run more smoothly. That is the job of Loopring as a layer 2 solution. So walking through the Loopring documentation, they go through why Loopring. It's super secure. There's high throughput, as I mentioned before, and it's low cost. Again, lots of transactions, lower cost, because you don't have to pay for all those transactions every single time. You're pulling a lot of them together and then writing to the Ethereum blockchain once. Loopring is also an exchange, and if you look at this image, this may look very similar to the other things you have seen, such as the Pro Coinbase interface. So this is one of the things that I've been personally looking for using decentralized exchanges. One of the problems with using swaps and decentralized exchanges is that the transaction is immediate. There's no limit orders. You can't say, I only want to buy it if it gets to this price. I only want to sell if it drops to this price, or if it gets this high. You can't do that with these decentralized exchanges. Loopring has built an exchange that allows you to do that. And we'll go into that a little bit further, but having this kind of interface is what I've been really looking for. So not only is Loopring solving the problem of the transaction fees, it's also adding more features that are needed and warranted and desired by many users in the DEX DeFi space. So here's another good article that was written about the Loopring exchange. It talks about the layer 2 scaling solution that Loopring presents, saving the gas fees and the time, and it walks through the different aspects that Loopring affords to the DeFi space. It talks about an AMM. Again, this gets complicated quickly, but an AMM is an automated market maker. So that's what SushiSwap, that's what Uniswap, that's what a lot of these swap sites are. You put in a transaction, it happens nearly immediately, and it's not only does it happen right away, there's no limit orders or stop losses or anything like that, but what also happens is that the price is set based on the liquidity pool of that exchange. In other words, however, if you're exchanging Ethereum for Polkadot or Loopring or any other Ethereum coin, the price is set based on the liquidity pools and how much is available of both on that particular site. So this article does a very good job of describing, without going too detailed and too technical on how this works, what Loopring is about, but the bottom line is that it's solving a real-world problem, not only for the gas fees being high, but also desired features that are warranted in the DeFi space. Now to take a quick look at what else Loopring offers. Loopring is also a wallet. You can actually have a wallet. You can have a DeFi, decentralized exchange app on your smartphone. They offer both wallets and exchanges. We talked about the exchange first, but there's also the wallet where you can have a smart wallet that gives you the trading and transfers and AMM features all in a wallet. And also I'll provide a closer look here at the exchange. Again, it looks very similar if you've looked at any of the Coinbase Pro or other professional exchanges like Binance or Kraken. A lot of the features that you're looking for are all here. You can trade. This particular example is DAI for USDT. You have the assets. You have the buy and sell orders. You can put limits in. You can see what the current book looks like, the recent transactions, and so on. So it looks and behaves very much like you're working with a normal exchange, even though you're working as a decentralized platform. Lastly, I'm going to mention a couple of videos as I like to do for further research. Coin Bureau does a great job on explaining Loopring. The video is a little dated. October, that's 6 months, but it's still a little dated. 6 months is a long time in the crypto space. And then also there's a good tutorial that speaks to these issues almost a year ago from DeFi Dad, who talks to how to trade with the DEX and beat the gas prices. That were high back then. So they do go up and down over time. Now that we have a better understanding of what Loopring does and the problems it's solving, let's take a look at the charts and see where we're at today. So taking a look at the charts, we have two main charts that I wanted to look at. First, we have Loopring against the dollar, And I've put some Fibonacci extensions and retracements on the chart. This is a one-day Bitfinex trade of Loopring versus the dollar. And you can see, looking back to the December time frame, it was all the way down below 20 cents. It was flying in the teens. And then it really started to take off. And then it went to a peak of nearly $1, of 80 cents. And then it started to retrace in February and came all the way back down to the 45 cent range. So by taking a look at this, we can see that if you look at some basic Elliott wave theory, this looks very much like a wave 1 followed by a wave 2 retracement, which means that we could quite likely be heading towards a wave 3 move up, which is the largest move forward. So if these charts hold, and they look like they could, we have both, and we'll look at another chart in a moment, but if this is a 50% retracement, which is a healthy move retracement, a typical extension for a wave 2, if I scroll this out a little bit, we'll take this up to the 2.6 line, which will put it at about $1.40. So even if it's just in a wave 5, it would take it to about just over $1. So somewhere in between $1 and $1.40 is a reasonable target based on charting this from Elliott wave theory and looking at this as a potential wave 3 upwards. Again, not financial advice, but this is my opinion on what the chart's telling me. Now, if I look at the chart against Bitcoin, I see two general things. First, I see a pretty strong resistance line, and there's several touches here, right around 1,250 or so sats. So that, to me, tells me that we were trying to break through it, and this pullback that just happened, where lots of coins pulled back over this recent weekend, it hit right that line and pulled right back. So once it bursts through this line again, that will become support and will head up again. And if you think it's reasonable to think that this could be a double bottom right here from 880 up to 1200. So extending that, you could probably be looking at 1500 to 1600 sats. Now, that is tough to translate into a dollar amount because we don't know what Bitcoin will be at that given time. But what we can do is we can take a measurement and just say, if we're at 1096 and we go up to, say, I think I said 1600, let's say 1500 just to be safe. That is a 35% move upwards in relation to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up another 20%, you're looking at about a 50 to 60% move upwards from where it's at today. So I think it's a timely position. Based on the charts, it looks like it's a reasonable time to either add to your stack of Loopring or potentially get into it for the first time. Again, this is not financial advice. It's for educational purposes only. But in my interpretation of reading the chart and how I would educate someone to read these charts, it seems to me saying that this has, for both a Loopring against Bitcoin and a Loopring against the US dollar, there seems to be upwards momentum that seems to want to carry this up 30 to 70% from where it presently is.
So there we have it, the third piece of ALTCOINopoly. The second piece that's free. The third piece is only available to subscribers over at LitecoinLeader.com. So be sure to subscribe over there. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification button for all these videos so you're updated and you're getting all this information, this great content for free that's available, even if you aren't a subscriber. But I strongly encourage that you do so you can play the full game of ALTCOINopoly. So once again, this project solves two real-world problems. The cost of Ethereum transactions are just far too high, and also something I was looking for, and a number of people that use swap sites often are looking for as well, transactions based on limit orders. That's not often available. It's very hard to find, if at all, able to find outside of this particular project's DeFi solution. So take note of this, write the coin down in the right space on the board, keep watching the videos, and go over to LitecoinLeader.com and subscribe. With all that said, it's time once again to close the drawer in the bureau. I'm Litecoin Leader, and I'll see you next time.